Welcome back to DIvaLicious Education. Today we're going to learn how to tell time to the nearest minute, and we're also going to do some work with elapsed time. So before we start, we're going to be using two types of clocks. One type of clock is called a digital clock, and here's an example of a digital clock, like on my phone. A digital clock simply uses the numbers to tell the time, and the way we read the numbers is we look at the hour, which is the numbers before the colon. So it's 1, and then we read the numbers behind like a 2-digit number, 36. So this time would be 1:36. Okay. Another type of clock that we use is called an analog clock. Here's an example of an analog clock. This clock has 3 hands on it. This is the second hand, and we don't use it as much to tell time, but if it had batteries in it, it would continually be moving around the clock. The short hand is called the hour hand, so it will point and it will be in the space that belongs to that hour. And then the longer hand is called the minute hand, and it's the numbers that we use to tell the minutes within the hour. So we're going to really be using the Judy clock today. Okay, most of you are familiar with time from 1st and 2nd grade, where you told time to the nearest 5 minutes. So we knew that if the minute hand was on the 1, we knew that we would say 5. And this would be 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. You learn to count to 5-minute increments, but it's kind of like a number line in a circle, because even though this number is 5, that means all the tick marks in between it are counting by ones. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So when the hand has a time like this, we would say that it is 1, and we would count 11, 12, 13. It would be 1:13. And that's how you tell time to the nearest 1 minute, by counting by 5s to those numbers and then counting the tiny tick marks, adding 1 on to that number. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that. If you need that, you can look at some other videos to tell time to the nearest minute. What we're going to be working on today is mostly using elapsed time. And elapsed time has to do with how much time has passed. So what I tell my students to do is to set up kind of like a template to use each time, and then you can plug in the numbers where you need to. So what we use is we kind of use a number line, because a clock is just like a number line, except that it's in a circle form. So we're going to stretch it out so that we can work with it a little bit better. So when we're doing how much time has passed, what we need to know is we need to know what the time is that we're starting with. So we need to have a start time, and then we need to know what time it stopped at. So we need a stop time, and then we kind of just make our number line like this. So let's try one without a task that just has the clocks on it first. So what we do is we look at both clocks. On this one we have a starting time. The hour hand is here. Now it's close to the 1, but it's not quite at 1, so it's almost at the next hour. So we're going to call this time 1:50. 1, 2, 3. So the start time is 1:53. Now on this one, we don't know what time it ended, but what we do know is that 15 minutes has passed. So we need to add 15 minutes. And what we're going to do is we're going to hop on that number line until we get that number of minutes. So 15 is composed of a 10. So I can add 10 to it. That would put 1:53. The clock has to pass, so then it would become 2:03, because when I get to 60, it moves to a new hour. So I'm at 2:03, and then I need to add 5 minutes. And 3 plus 5 is 8, so then it would be 2:08. So the stop time would be 2:08. So basically I hop along the number line until I get to where I need to be. Let's try another one. Let's try one where we know the start time and we know the stop time. And let's figure out the minutes in between it. So let's say we have a start time of 2:18 and it ends at 2:57. What we want to do is hop along that time so we can figure out the elapsed time, because that's what we don't know. We don't know how much time has passed by. So basically I'm going to keep hopping and adding on to 2:18 until I get to 2:57. What I notice is my hour has not changed. Both my hours are 2, so I know that I'm only dealing with minutes. So I can add 10 minutes. That would get me to 28. I can add another 10 minutes. That would get me to 38. We can add another 10. That would get me to 48. And if I add another 10, it would be too much. So maybe let's try adding 5. That would be 48. Plus 5 would make 53. And now I know that I'm only 4 away from 57. So that got me to 2:57. Now I need to count up what I added. We added 10, 20, 30, 35, 39. So this elapsed time was 39 minutes. Good. Let's try one more. This time, let's have a starting number. Let's be missing the starting number. Or let's not. In 3rd grade, I don't think you have to miss the starting number. So let's have a start time of 4:09. And let's have a stopping time of 4:45. And we want to know how much time elapsed. How much time passed by. So again, we know the start time, we don't know the stop time. We know the stop time, we don't know the elapsed time. So we're going to hop along the number line until we get to 45. Again, the hour hasn't changed, they're both in the 4 area. So I can add 10, and that would get me to 4:19. We can add another 10, that would get us to 4:29. We can add another 10, that would get us to 4:39. And now I know I'm really close, so let's add smaller numbers. I know that 40 to 45 is 5, so 39 is one more, so that would be, let's try 6. And that would get us to 45. Now I can count out what I added. I added 10, 20, 30, 36. So the elapsed time is 36 minutes. I hope that helped you a little bit today with elapsed time, and have a great day. Bye. That was another DIvaLicious education video. Be sure to subscribe to my channel so you can be updated when we upload more videos, or check out my website at www.thirdgradeI.weebly.com, or find my materials at teacherspayteachers.com/store/DIvaLicious. Bye.